Good evening, everyone. We are Girish and Sushma from Bangalore. Thank you, Madhur, for that wonderful introduction. Today we are really excited to see so many exciting people at this time, right? So you could have gone somewhere outside, but you are here for a reason. So today, I am very happy to introduce the WQ champion, Suraj. I know Suraj from 20 plus years. He was my student when he was doing his engineering. Then he went ahead to do his master's and PhD from Indian Institute of Science, and he has been working with top semiconductor companies in the R&D department. He's also author of a few books in Kannada, and he's passionate about running. But you know what is one thing common in these 20 years that I have observed? He is humble and open to learn. Same character is managing. If you remember, I am very afraid to meet somebody who has done PhD from ISC. But when I meet Suraj, I don't feel anything like that because he's so down to earth. I am sure his wellness transformation will inspire a lot of you because with such a busy schedule and highly accomplished career, if you can transform his health, I am sure a lot of you will get inspired to take on that journey. So with this, I would like to welcome Suraj.
Welcome, Suraj. So happy to have you here, share your transformation. I'm sure this would be inspiring to a lot of people who are listening to you. Can you just give your background briefly?
Yeah, sure. So before even I start, first of all, thank you very much, Girish and Sushma, for giving me an opportunity to talk to this esteemed audience. And then thank you for the WQ community for giving me a stage to talk about myself. So yeah, I'm Suraj. I'm 37 years old. As Girish already mentioned, I have a PhD from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and I've been working in a semiconductor company for a few years now. So basically, my work revolves around developing algorithms that make all our mobile phone cameras do better things. So that's what I've been working on. So on the family front, I live with my mom, my wife Vaishali, and my two sons, Navaneet and Nachiket. Navaneet is 4 years old and Nachiket is 5 months old. So I basically am from Mysore, but I've been in Bangalore for the last 14 years or so. Yeah, this is a short introduction about me.
That's wonderful, Suraj. Though we know each other from 20 years, we were absolutely not in touch almost for 15 years. I
Yes,
remember 2 years back, I came to Ooty with my family for a trip and I met you suddenly and I remembered somewhere I have seen this guy. And that's
yes, yes.
we came to know about each other once again. But, then we were in touch on and off. But
Right,
2 months
true.
back, you reached out to me. I know
Yes.
you had a very hectic schedule, but you reached out to me for a reason. So, what was your condition? Why did you reach out to me, and what was your health condition at that time?
Okay, so to be more precise, I reached out to you in August 2024. So there is a short background to that. So I think back in February 2024, I for an unconnected reason, I went to my doctor, and then she asked me to do a full body checkup. So I did the same, and when she looked at the numbers, she realized certain things were off. So certain things like sugar levels were off, and then cholesterol levels were a little higher than anticipated and stuff. So she did not put me under any medication at that point of time. She asked me to just focus on some workouts and then fix my diet and all, and then try to control it. So I did it for a month or two. Things came to, I mean, if not to absolute ideal levels, it came to a decent level. So she said, okay, let's just focus on this. Let's not put you on medication. However, because of work stress and all, it's my job is very demanding, and also, as I mentioned, I have two very young kids at home, and then probably before August, we were actually expecting the second kid. So even on the family front, the pressure was there. So and in that kind of a scenario, I went through another medical checkup. So there I realized, okay, my sugar levels were higher than what it was back in February, and also the cholesterol levels were higher. And then Also, I started to feel a little tired about my some of my physical activities. So say for example, I would still try to use the office gym at times, so at least 3 to 4 days a week. And then I could feel that even after even after working out, my energy levels were a little low. I could not lift weights. And then uh, even generally I used to run. So even during college days, I picked up the habit of running. So after a point, I would feel very tired. Completing a 5 kilometer run would be a real pain. So this was the situation when I spoke to you in August. So yeah, that was that was my condition at that point of time.
Yeah, Suraj, so we understand. I mean, as you said, when you approached us in August, you were expecting your second child, and the first one was also too young. And
Yes.
if it was somebody else, they would have easily told that I would want to wait for 6 months until my life stabilizes, the things go normal, and then start a journey. But I'm very happy that you started with the whole journey. And can you state one or two instances what made you really think that you should reverse your condition and get on the journey? Was
So
it the difficulty with the physical state or the mental state that you were facing that time?
right, right. So the first thing obviously was, I mean, I started to feel tired, uncomfortable, and so on. But then a more stronger triggering point was for different reasons. My kid had to be taken to the hospital. So this was probably towards the last week of August, maybe at the same time I spoke to you. So and then I had to sit in the hospital, wait for the kid. And then a 3 year old, 3.5 year old one, being such a small kid, he used to be extremely cranky, nervous about that place and all. So as I sat outside waiting for him, waiting for the doctors to talk to me, I kept on looking at other people. I could see the same sullen faces, same nervous, anxious faces all around. And then including mine. I'm not discounting on that. So and then that was that moment I realized, okay, I'm going through this thing, but my kids should not go through this thing. And then that too because of me. So this was one of the major motivating factors at that point. So even though we were expecting the second kid, I spoke to my wife about this. Initially, we were thinking if it would work out, because I mean, having a full-time job, taking care of family responsibilities, and then going on this journey, will it be too overwhelming? That was the thought we had initially. But then we decided, okay, enough is enough. Let's just jump into the swimming pool. No point doing theoretical lessons of swimming. So yeah, so these were the two things. And apart from that, the even I did not want to get too much stressed about these things. So I just wanted to take an action, and at the same time I wanted to take an action at the grassroots level, not like just say getting some medicines, trying to bring things in, the numbers into control and stuff. So I just wanted to attack this problem at a more grassroots level. So these were actually the main motivating factors.
Yeah, yeah, I do understand that it was a difficult situation for you to make a decision, and I'm glad that you made this decision and you're here. 6 months fast forward now, what do you want to share about how was your journey and what are the results that you have got?
Okay, so where do I begin? So maybe let me start with the numbers. Numbers are generally a little encouraging and interesting for everyone involved. So my HbA1c number level when I started in August was 7.8. As of today, it is 5.4. I mean, today in the sense, the last time I got tested was sometime towards the end of April or so. So from 7.8, I've reduced to 5.4. 5.5 is the threshold for non-diabetic. So I've reversed that condition. My fasting sugar has come down from say 133 to 98. So once again, that's yet another thing that I've reduced. My cholesterol levels are they were probably around the border, but now it's like well within the range. And then I mean, these are some numbers from the test, from the medical test. But then I've reduced about 12 to 13 kgs overall. I think I was 81 when I started the program. I'm now at 68, 69 ish. So yeah, this is yet another thing. And then most importantly, I lost about 4 inches of belly fat. So yeah, I probably used to look like a potato previously. I think I look better now. So I don't know. You guys are the judges. You have to decide.
I think your second son will never see you like this. What your first son has seen you like this, right? So I think this is a proud moment for a father to really have that energy and to dive into, give that energy to the kids and to be there always
Yes.
and enjoy the process. That's what I would say.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, it would have its own ups and downs, but then it has to be enjoyable, and that's something that was true in my case.
Yeah, that's awesome, Suraj. And as you see, Suraj is very well versed with the numbers. And I remember an instance that when we started coaching him, every week on a Sunday evening, we would get a summary of what went well 1 week and what was the results and what is the improvements that you want to see in the next week. And as Girish said, he was really a humble student, ready to learn, ready to implement, and ready to transform. And that made as a coaches, it made us so comfortable and so easy to teach him new stuffs, and he kept on implementing. And I think that's the great attitude that you carry, Suraj, and I really commend for that.
Thank you very much, Sushma. I mean, it's like we are all investing time, money, and energy into this. So better make it work. So that was the idea. I mean, what's the point in getting into something and being half-hearted about it? So
Definitely.
That's amazing, Suraj. I am also inspired by your transformation, but I would like to touch upon one interesting thing. See, when I talk to a lot of people working in the IT industry, when I ask them what is so exciting thing in your life, most of the people say, especially in Bangalore, I travel 4 hours, I'm done with office work, I come back, maybe watch TV and eat food and sleep. But you had some passion, right? Which is an inspiration for a lot of people. You had a passion for running. So
yes,
can you
yes.
share your story about, what you were doing before this, maybe in last 3 years, how you have put yourself into, completing that, working on that passion.
Yes. So yeah, in fact, running is a hobby I picked up during my early days of PhD. I mean, just to relieve some stress. So I think that was one of the greatest stress busters of that time for me. But then eventually got married, had to finish my PhD, find job, start working, then had kids. So I mean, I still tried to run occasionally, but never more than say 4 to 5 kilometers at a stretch. I think till about even in 2023 the longest I ran was probably 6 kilometers. There were 1 or 2 10-kilometer runs, but they were like probably once in say 3 4 years or so, and then that used to be hell. I mean, trust me, it used to be hell. So once I started this program in August 2024, so just to see where I stand with, especially with respect to running. So in November 2024, I just tried a 10K. I mean, just woke up one fine morning and then just went out for a run. Decided, okay, let me do a 10K today. Let me see what happens. And then I was able to complete. So I pushed myself a little further, and then eventually I was able to complete 2 or 3 10Ks in 2024. But then in 2025 I felt, okay, I want to take this thing more seriously. So I set up a goal for myself saying I want to run 25 10 kilometers in 25 10-kilometer runs in this calendar year. So I think I started sometime in February. Jan being completely dedicated to my family, because the younger one arrived in late December. So starting February, I decided, okay, in the next 11 months I have to run 25 10Ks. And then yeah, I was able to do that start. And then as of today, I'm happy to say I've completed 9 10Ks out of 25.
Wow.
So I think I've crossed that one-third mark right now. So I mean, this is one aspect of it. So most out of nine, eight were plain my own personal runs. But then there was one run for which I went for an organized event, and then I was able to clock in 10K in about 61 minutes. So that's like my best right now. So
Awesome.
just about just below the 10 kilometer per hour mark. And then not only that, I've also registered for a half marathon, 21 kilometer run. So I'm training for that. So that event is in September. So I'm I'm hopeful that I'll be able to run this half marathon and still be able to do my usual things after I complete that. So yeah, this is something I'm really looking forward. Not it's the 25 10Ks, maybe coupled with a couple of half marathons at least. Yeah,
Wow.
and then yeah, you probably you want me to run a full marathon as well. I'm taking it one step at a time. First, let me get the half marathon and then push myself to the full marathon. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
the goal.
that's really awesome, Suraj. So 2024, it was only two, 2023 zero, and now 2025, it's only 5 months and you've already done nine.
Yes, yes.
And last week when I spoke to you, it was eight and already nine. And I'm sure every alternate week you have scheduled your runs. And I mean, this is something incredible. And you are taking your fitness level to the next one and keep on challenging yourself and getting that result. So this is incredible. So
Thanks, sir.
with all this that you have got the results, what are the key things that you feel was important and that you implemented that helped you through this process or the journey?
Okay, so the main, I mean, the most important thing is have continuous conversation with the coaches. So I kept on talking to you people. Maybe I've bugged you folks enough number of times. You probably might have thought, okay, this guy is messaging too much, so maybe let me just club all together and then send out an audio message so that he'll get away all the answers in one single audio. So yeah, I mean, basically having that continuous conversation with the coaches is something that's very important. I mean, I do understand there is a lot of information that's available online, but then one thing that really makes a difference is a coach who understands what is needed to me, and then who kind of distills information and then passes on what is required to me. So and then filters out what is not required. Say for example, I remember the first week. So you had asked me to share the pictures of my food plate, and then I kept on doing it for a week, and then a week later you started to give me feedback on what to increase, what to decrease, what to have more, what to have less, and all. So and then I was and then because I spoke to you, I realized, okay, this is one point where I'm lacking, and then I could immediately make those changes. So that I mean, that was on the earlier stage. But then as time progressed, you also gave me enough ideas to with respect to the workouts, because because certain things, like I became extremely busy and then could not spend like 45 minutes on a workout continuously. So you helped me in planning my workouts in a way that I could just spend 15 minutes in the morning and then another 15-20 minutes in the evening, and then some workouts which seem light but are very effective. So that's one thing. And also to handle stress, I mean, Girish understands this way better than any of us. So the kind of stress that's there in the corporate world. So how do we handle that kind of stress? So Girish gave me ideas initially, the usual meditation sessions, but then they eventually moved out to some advanced meditation, something like the manifestation and those kinds of things. So yeah, and then also when I was stuck in that plateau, so I remember for about more than a month or so, I was stuck at about 72 73 kg plateau. So and then I was kind of frustrated. I was still doing all these things, but then things didn't move on. And then Girish said, try intermittent fasting. I did that, and then things came down. So and then once again the journey continued. So these kind of things, it's very difficult to do it when we are doing it alone. So a community, a coach it becomes very very important. So this is one. And then having some kind of support system is also very important. So in my case, I'm very fortunate to have my wife and my mom as that support system. And then in office, all my colleagues used to continuously monitor me. So if I don't take a picture on one day, they would ask me, why aren't you taking a picture? Take it and send. So and then so they kept an eye on me in office. So that kind of support system is yet another thing. So yeah, these are some of the most important things that I think are there.
Yeah, awesome, Suraj. So I remember you started intermittent fasting, then you did a whole day fast, and you did a vegetable juice fasting, fruit fasting, and I think you were ready to implement whatever we say, and you experimented a lot and really, found what suits your body the best and how you can go forward. And
Yes,
it's been, I think, 2-3 months now post the program completion, and you have still maintained. And
yes,
I'm
yes,
sure with the habits, you will never look back to your old lifestyle and you'll keep growing.
yes. I mean, there would be occasional slippages. So, see, I love sweets. So, and then if somebody offers me jalebi, I just can't resist. So, but previously it would be some kind of mindless eating. Now I know. So, what to expect, what not to expect, where to stop, and those kinds of things. So that is one takeaway message for me from this entire program of 6 months. And yeah, as you mentioned, so even after a couple of months after the program has ended, I'm continuing all those habits. I'm continuing to keep up both on the diet, on the workouts, on it's basically a holistic view. So it's not just fix the diet and everything will be fine. No, so it's also about managing stress, and then having better quality sleep, and all those kinds of things. So I'm able to do I'm able to do all those things, if not 100%, at least 90%.
That is incredible, Suraj. Since I am also in the semiconductor industry, I know what kind of pressure it is. In fact, I am guiding some of the clients from your organization. If they want to take leave on weekends, they have to take prior permission. And I have told some of the people to change the organization if they want to transform their health. But you are one such person. You continued working there, still transformed your health. For in the interest of audience, I think if you can give one message that might inspire somebody to take one step towards their health, what would be that message that you want to give?
Okay, so I'll take the liberty, and then I'll give two, not one, because I have two coaches. So the first thing is trust the process. I mean, that is the strongest message that I have. Trust the process is because, I mean, first of all, starting with this program itself can be overwhelming. So and then once you start talking to the coaches, or once anybody starts talking to the coaches, so the coaches would start telling, okay, there would be workouts, and then there would be diet, and then there would be stress handling, and all those things. So that can put lot of people off guard. So, but when I say trust the process, so basically it's like, you talk to the coaches, just tell them what is it you expect, at least in the beginning, and then what is the pace that you can handle. So it's not like I can just start and then run say 1 kilometer in 3 minutes. No, I can't do that. So when I start running, I would take about 8 minutes to finish a run, finish a 1K run. So that way. So that it needs to be calibrated. So the coaches would understand, and then even we need to listen to the body. So basically, when I say trust the process, so it's basically there are multiple things happening, but then don't stop. We should not be stopping. So even though we take baby steps, it's important that we take those baby steps. So that becomes very important. So yeah, and that is one thing. So I mean, not just the workouts, even the diets. So maybe we are not used to eating certain kinds of foods, or we are and then we are not used to eating, say, maybe at 7 p.m. At least that's what I try to follow. So maybe eating at 7 p.m. as against eating at, say, 9:30 p.m. or so. So start making minor changes. If you want to advance your dinner, instead of having at 9:30, start at 9, then move to 8:30, and then take those baby steps. So that is the process that we need to trust. And second one is, this is also equally important. So don't be afraid to try out new things. I mean, especially for the men out there. So I mean, including myself, don't be afraid of cooking. This is, I think, a lot of men will be afraid. So we are at least I was not used to kitchen. My wife used to handle, my mom used to handle, and then so my presence in kitchen would probably be completely off-putting for both of them. But then eventually I started doing more. I started to prepare my own salad, and the reason is not because I could trust them. I couldn't trust them. But the thing is, I wanted to do it myself. I wanted to ease that pressure on both my mom and my wife, and then I wanted to take things into my control, at least my stuff. I wanted to take it into my control. So I started to experiment with very extremely basic cooking. When we say cooking, it's not like prepare a 5 course meal in, say, Taj or whatever Hilton, whatever restaurant. No, nothing like that. Very very basic stuff. But then of course we need to enjoy eating that as well. So we need to continuously be ready to experiment new things, learn new things. Some things something would fail, some things would be super successful, and so on. So in fact, Sushma gave me one recipe. I think this December or Jan, you probably gave me a recipe. I prepared it multiple times when my sister was here. She came for a vacation from US, so I prepared it to her and my brother-in-law. They liked it so much, they wanted me to prepare the same. 3 days later I did that, and then they took the recipe from me. They went back to US. Now they're cooking it themselves. So I think I've created that one revolution in my family. So people, I mean, doing that kind of experimentation helps. So just be open to new thoughts, just be open to new ideas, be ready to do new experiments. So yeah, these are the two important messages that I can give. One is trust the process. Two, don't be shy or don't hesitate to experiment.
Thank you so much, Suraj. Not many people would come out to share their journey, and you have inspired so many people through your sharing. With this, thank you very much for coming here and back to post.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Girish. Thank you, Sushma. Thanks for having me.